I had so much fun working as a portrait photographer because, on one hand, I could do these old painting style Rembrandt pictures, which I just like personally. And when I did it for businessmen and the corporate world, it paid quite well. But what I really liked was just bringing people into the studio and taking their picture, telling their story. It was always friends or people I know, like Antonio, the famous beat poet. And it was always an experience trying to capture the essence of a person, trying to capture the soul of a person, or at least his story, using my camera. Sometimes people came with an amazing story, like this stunt double slash Russian rock star. That was a great shoot. But a lot of times you just work with the person that you have in front of you and you try to get the maximum out of them. You try to show who they are, who they really are. The funny thing is that I get a lot of feedback from people that the workers or their colleagues look at the picture strange, but when they show it to their family, they say, okay, this is really you. I think that is a compliment. And of course, all of my actor friends that are acting wild in the studio just for the fun of it, because it is fun. I tried to bring the stranger kind of people just because the images are a little bit better. Uh, the not so sane ones, as you can see from the eyes. By the way, this is another one of these pictures that I love showing to photographers because I can hear their brain flip and break when they look at how I cropped this picture. But you know what is the beautiful thing? I don't care. I love it. I love it exactly like this. The human face is such an expressive thing. Even when it is calm, it is such a tool, such a vehicle to show your inner self that trying to capture it is an incredible task. Trying to capture the look, trying to capture the feeling. And this is another example of an extremely simple, almost a line that draws the face. Very narrow color palette, but it captures the atmosphere, it captures the person. Sometimes a portrait doesn't show anything of the face. I'm sure that you can start at least 5 stories in your head just looking at this one picture. Salvatore Pennacchio, a good friend, Archbishop. I shot everybody. Yeah, I used to have quite famous clients then. And I used to have the weird ones. I love this shot. It's just so weird. I mean, he's a great guy, John, but when you look at this picture, this is the kind of guy that you don't want to get stuck near in a house party. I'm sure the conversation would be very, very strange. This is another perfect example of what I was talking about, the keeping it simple so the composition works for the picture. Uh, and again, the fabric does work almost as brushstrokes, just because of the nature of fabric. And by keeping the palette very narrow, by keeping the contrast very high, by keeping half of the story obscured in the dark, you actually create a lot more mystery, a lot more tension. For me, this is the equivalent of a short story. You know, these kind of stories that are just one page long but have an impact on you. that have some kind of a twist in the end or something wise. It is a full story in one picture.